Today I'm working on this 2016 GMC Acadia. Has a shuddering problem at low RPMs with a light load. So I went ahead and put some cardboard underneath it to flush the transmission out. I'll empty it, fill it, drive it for 20 miles, empty it, fill it again, and then I've got a product called Instant Shudder Fixx, which I'm hoping will do the trick. Went ahead and put it on blocks to level it out. So, time to get to work. Alright, to drain the transmission fluid, you'll want to get underneath the driver's side, and right here is your drain plug. It's a 7/16 inch, and you'll just take your socket and drain that out, put it into your drain pan, measure how much came out, and then replace that much up in the top fill area, which I'll show you in a moment. It's a good idea to take a sample of what comes out just to see the color of it. So I'm going to try and do that. I've got myself a clear bottle that I'll put some in just to compare. Alright, time to do it. Went ahead and got a sample of it. As you can see, it is very dark, not very red at all, so this is definitely a good call. Got it all drained out, plug it back up, measure it and fill up the amount that came out, and take it for about 20-mile drive. Then do the same thing again. Alright, the transmission fluid is done leaking out, so I'm going to tighten this back up and fill it. First I'm going to measure how much is in here so I know how much to fill back in. Then we'll take it for a ride. If you're wondering how I'm going to measure it, I've got an old oil container, so I'm going to dump it in there, see how much comes out, and then I'll apply that much into the transmission and I'll take it for a ride. Yeah, I got myself an extendable funnel, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in and add the transmission fluid. Looks like you're supposed to have the engine running while you add the transmission fluid, so that's what I'm doing. Just line it up right inside there. See the little hole that it goes into. And grab the transmission fluid. I took out 5 quarts, so I've already added in pretty close to 5, so I'm just going to add a little bit more and test it with the dipstick. See if we're there. Got the dipstick, put it on in there, tighten it up, bring it on out, see what it reads. Looks like we're at the minimum. The cross hatching there. You wipe that and check it again. Alright, you can see in the light it's in the cross hatching between the cold and the hot. So we're right on target. I'm going to go ahead and take it for a ride for 20 miles and then drain it and fill it again. I'll show you what that looks like. Fun fact, in case you didn't know, you can take your old oil to an O'Reilly's and they'll recycle it for you. So, got a backlog of that. I'm going to do that while I'm testing out the transmission. Alright, I'm going, and I'm not feeling any shuddering so far, but I've only just begun. So we shall see. You see that? It's a heads-up display. It shows up on my windshield. Pretty neat. Back in a flash. If you're like me, you're doing it yourself to try and save yourself some money, and so you know it's done right. Just to let you know, you can get this ATF at Walmart for about $10 cheaper than the auto parts store. So pro tip for you, try Walmart. You might have to source a few different Walmarts, could even call ahead and make sure they have it in stock. But it was $26 instead of $36, so $10 off is good to me. That's why I bought 2. Alright, I let it cool down. Time to rinse and repeat. Gonna remove that plug and empty it out, fill it back up. Back in a minute. There it is, emptying out once again. Looks a little lighter this time. So I'm going to put a little in a bottle and do the comparison, see what it looks like. I'll show you in a sec. Alright, time to add another 2 and almost 2.5 quarts. Let's see. Here's 1, and it's about a half, so just a little bit more. Alright, I'm pleased with that. Check the dipstick, see what it looks like. Alright, put that back in there. And let's see what it says. Looks like it wants a little bit more. I'm not seeing any on there, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Alright, it needs just a little bit more ATF. So I'm going to input this here and then fill up the rest of it, and I'm hoping that's going to be the fix I need. I just pop this off and dump it right into the transmission fill right there, and then top it off with ATF, and I should be good to go. Alright, down the hatch, as they say. Okay, looks like I got it all in there. I'll follow it up with a little ATF and then measure the dipstick. On a side note, make sure you're getting the proper ATF. This one uses Dexron 6, so you're going to want to make sure you get the right one when you're buying it. Alright, let's check it out. Hopefully you can see that. It is right at that perfect spot just before the M in max. So I think we're good to go on the fill. And time to drive it and see how it goes. Here's from the original before I did any change. And here's afterwards. You can see a little more red coming through. So I'm gonna go drive it around and see what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, here I am getting up on the freeway. See if we get any shuddering or stuttering. After putting in the Shudder fix and doing 2 transmission fluid draining and filling. So far so good. Let's see what happens when we get up to a higher speed. So far so good. I'm liking it. Well, I am quite happy with the results. I went at all different speeds, varied on the freeway, and with different throttle pressure, and going up and down slight hills with light loads, and no stutter. So that seemed to be the fix. If this helped you out, give a like. If you want to see some more DIY projects, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks, have a great day.